Hello everyone, my name is Octavian, and alongside me today for Duocasts Episode 5 is Desifresh. Say hello, Desifresh, to everybody watching.
How are you guys doing? Looking forward to be here and looking forward to casting this game with you.
Yeah, as am I. Already off the bat, it looks like we have some interesting stuff going on. I mean, I wanted to talk about the Cho'Gath top lane and how it's new and unusual to see a Cho'Gath come back into the meta. He's been out of the meta for so long. But then Debox goes and plays Veigar jungle, and so it just seems to be overshadowed. Oddly enough, the tiny little midget overshadowing the Void monster.
Yeah, he kind of just threw a wrench in your plans right there. The Veigar jungle, I think it's more of a pick where Debox wants the safety of the jungle to farm up his Q. However, the irony in there is the jungle does hurt a little bit more now after the 4.20 patch, so he may actually end up going back a little bit often. The good thing is that he does have Graves and Blitzcrank for a bit of a leash, so he shouldn't get too low on his first clear.
He's also got that wonderful looking Baron Veigar skin. So, I mean, skins equal wins. It's an undisputed fact, so I don't really see how he can potentially lose this game. But then again, the enemy jungler also has a skin, so really we're right back to the drawing board with this one, as Debox is going to start off with the Krugs. Magic way shorter, heading on back to lane with his friendly Graves. Looks like Lustboy and Wildturtle are going to be able to go with the Krugs first, though. That's an interesting strategy. Can you tell us why people have been picking that one up?
Well, first of all, it's the Grump. If they had started Krugs, they would be actually going to that top side. It does seem as though we have our legendary actually taking wolves. So he's going to be going back, and he'll be hitting level 2. I do expect him to, after taking those wolves, go back and possibly pick up some new item, maybe a longsword or maybe even a magic mantle for some defense. He'll teleport back. He'll be level 2 alongside Papa Chow to get an early gank down onto Brandon for the win.
Yeah, this game is just full of odd and interesting strategies. I mean, let alone the Veigar jungle. We have RF Legendary up in the top lane, going to be right on engaging onto Brandon for the win. 8 Papa Chow's come up here as well. The level 2 Jarvan gank, something I've been seeing a lot of recently. The red buff is burning. Brandon might be able to escape here. The Q brings him down. Max range, the very tip of the spear, taking out the Void Beast.
Yeah, exactly. Brandon for the win. Since he was in that lane alone, they didn't really know what happened to RF Legendary. He was just going to be pushing that out and trying to take as big of an advantage because he doesn't know when RF Legendary would have returned. So minimizing the experience, maximizing the experience lost, it was a great call in hindsight. Unfortunately for him, he did not expect the level 2 gank coming out from both Irelia and Jarvan.
Oh, Peek and Wolf forced to dash away there. Azir is low on mana though, so he didn't actually have the ability to follow up, but he's got a Doran's Ring and he's got a Biscuit. Biscuit gives a little bit of mana back as well, by the way, upon eating it. So Imp is going to be able to sustain up in that mid lane, and he seems to be doing pretty well against his Lissandra counterpart. Very nice Black Shield, just in time to block the hook.
Exactly. They definitely have a lot of synergy, as we've seen during World. Wildturtle and Lustboy were pretty dominant bottom lane. It does seem as though they are having a really nice time against Twisty Jukester and Magic way shorter. They've been able to essentially block, dodge, or block any of the Blitzcrank hooks that have been coming out. And back to what we were talking about before, the RF Legendary incident happened. Why they were taking Krugs, they just really want to get an advantage in the lane by hitting level 2. Well, they both actually shared the experience, so they were halfway to level 1, so they're already ahead in experience compared to Twisty Juker and Magic way shorter. It does seem as though in that top lane, RF Legendary did pick up a straight kill onto Brandon for the win. That does have a lot to do with the fact that he did end up dying really early. RF Legendary got a really nice lead in that lane.
It's one of the reasons why you don't see a Cho'Gath top too often anymore. He's a very, very swingy kind of champion because he's fairly one-dimensional in what he does. He tries to land the knock-up. If he lands the knock-up, he does a lot of damage to you. If he doesn't, then he's kind of set way far behind in that particular engage, and being set behind as a Cho'Gath just makes it very, very hard to come back. But Wildturtle's going in on Twisted Juke here. Nice juke away from the binding, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. He had taken too much damage at that point. Even with some fancy dancing shoes, he still went down.
Yeah, that was actually a really great call from Twisty Juker, but it was kind of him securing his own death. I believe right there, the best situation for him would have been to either flash, because because he sidestepped it by moving closer to Wildturtle, he got off a couple of extra auto attacks, essentially securing his death. A flash coming after him definitely would have been a lot better.
Another gank in the mid lane from Papa Chow. He's got a lot of pressure in the map here. Pekin Wolf is fairly safe as Lysandra, though. The Glacial Path brings her right back to her turret.
Yeah, they do need to get that CC lock before she dashes to it. Otherwise, she's essentially home free. Our legendary, though. It's gonna be...
This top lane is brutal right now for Brandon. He's level 3 to RF Legendary is level 6, and Papa Chow is not giving him a break. He's coming up here. He's diving under the tower of the flag and drag. Brandon forced to flash away. The ulti from the Aurelia going to be doing a bit of damage to him as he does so, and Papa Chow now has him all alone, no summoners, all by himself. Caught out here. The flag isn't quite enough damage to bring him down, so Papa Chow is forced to flash forward. But he gets the kill in the end anyways, and RF Legendary is going to push in onto the tower and get some damage on that as well.
Yeah, the pain is going to continue. He can't even get a new item. He's forced to just pick up wards as well as biscuits. He's been sitting on that Ruby Crystal for quite a while, and it's really unfortunate for him because Irelia, she's going to constantly be scaling. She hasn't gone back yet. That's just the Doran's Blade Irelia causing that much pain to him. Imagine when she ends up going back, and look at that. She gets a Sheen.
Sheen and another Doran's.
So it's just going to be a bloodfest in that top lane. I highly expect him to just start trying to farm up the Gromp whenever it's available for some extra experience, because otherwise he's not going to get any farther ahead in that lane.
And speaking, ooh, nice hook, lands on Wildturtle. However, the knockup is blocked by the spell shield. Probably could have timed that spell shield a little bit better to completely block the hook, but I mean, 4 out of 5 so far is quite good for Lust Boy. He's blocked 4 out of the last 5 hooks with his spell shield. Messing up once, I can forgive the guy.
And you know, speaking of Gromp before, he does end up going for that Gromp, so hashtag go for the Gromp.
Okay, the box is down on the bottom side of the map.
For those of you that actually get that reference, clearly watched Champions Spring 2 days ago. So, well done.
I can't say that I get the reference, and now I feel left out. Magic Way may be looking to land a hook again. Tosses it out. Actually, he purposefully doesn't shoot it at the enemy champions. He fires it off at the cannon. And the damage was enough that he shared the cannon gold with Twisty Juker. So, good use of the Blitzcrank hook there, just kind of helping to sustain and share the wealth down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, you see a lot of times supports doing that. Sometimes you see even a Thresh do that. Send out that death sentence to essentially secure that cannon minion if they're in a pretty dangerous situation. It does give them a pretty nice advantage. You do see Fergenwolf going in onto Imp and Bim.
Yeah, and Brandon is having a rough time in the top lane, so he's decided to go ahead and leave it all together. He came down to the mid lane for a gank, and Imp Imp Imp, he gets the dangerous game passive and manages to survive under the tower. Now Brandon is in a lot of trouble because Legendary decided to follow, and he picks up the kill onto the Cho'Gath. That went as disastrously as possible for blue team in mid lane.
Yeah, Brandon was looking for something to get him back into that game, and even that mid lane that wasn't doing too hot against the Azir, they ended up losing more than they actually gained. Here comes that teleport coming in from Brandon, and he's still going to get nothing out of it.
He's going everywhere and finding nothing. He's looking for ganks in all the wrong places.
It is really unfortunate for him. They're down 6 kills already, and 3,000 gold is definitely something you do not want to be down by the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, this game is kind of becoming a bit of a crush for red team. It's snowballing out of control, and Debox's first gank of the game was completely foiled by a spell shield. I mean, since the stun doesn't actually do magic damage, you can just walk through the entire thing as Morgana without any qualms whatsoever, so long as the spell shield is up.
You can even walk through it over and over again without having to worry about it. That's the beautiful part about the Morgana Dark Black Shields.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hard counter to the Veigar, and Debox probably not going to be able to get any good ganks off in the bottom lane because of it. Might be able to make something happen in the mid lane. I mean, the Lysandra is only 0-1-0 right now, which isn't that great, but when you compare it to some of the other lanes, especially top and how they're doing, it probably looks like the best place for the box to gank. But it looks like Papa Chow's going in right on a Magic Way Sorter here. Flashes out of the Cataclysm. Magic Way Sorter going very, very low. Azir, one more auto attack either from him or a soldier will bring him down. But Magic Way Sorter, why did you pull Papa Chow under? He just about gets away. The Ignite burning onto Papa Chow doesn't bring him down, but that was incredibly dangerous from the Blitzcrank.
Definitely a sleight of thought right there that could have secured his death. Thankfully, he still did have that mana shield to keep himself alive, but looks at Imp and Bim. He's gonna be caught out by Brandon.
Is the first kill of the game for blue team going to happen here? Brandon's going to keep on chasing, and he does get the kill. Getting that one with an auto attack, bringing himself back into this game a little bit, but they're going to need a lot more than that to really come back into this one.
Yeah, none of those lanes, like you said before, are doing too well against this red team. And Twisty Juker, he was looking so hard for that kill. It did go over to Brandon, so hopefully he does pick up some nice items. He actually does end up finishing up that Catalyst. However, him being so far behind, he's not going to really finish up that Rod of Ages until really late. I'm estimating maybe about a 17-minute Rod of Ages, if he's lucky.
I feel very bad for Magic Way Shorter in this lane. A Morgana Kalista is nearly impossible to hit with the hooks, and Wildturtle's going to be getting the kill in the tower dive. TSM Lustboy is going very, very low, but Wildturtle has taken the aggro now, and so Magic Way Shorter, despite all of his best efforts, is not going to be able to pick up a kill into the Morgana, and they're going to go ahead and just run away, having taken down his friendly Graves, and left him behind without an AD carry to fend for. And actually, it looks like they might be going for another dive here. Shorter taking a few more auto attacks, and then the E. Wildturtle, whoa! Nearly went down.
Yeah, he did hit that spear, but he was underneath the tower when that did end up happening, so...
And DeBox is rolling to the
bot.
bot. DeBox is coming. Viger wants the kill. But Shorter might be in some trouble here. He goes down to the damage from Wildturtle, but DeBox. One swift Q brings him down, and there is no spell shield to keep Lustboy from being stunned. However, a very nice Dark Binding does keep DeBox at a distance, but not quite enough. He gets the double kill on the jungle Vigar. He is doing the best on the team right now. Pekin Wolf snaring up Imp and trying to escape here in the mid lane. Ooh, turns around with the Ignite, and the Q deals a lot of damage, but Imp only needed one more auto attack to finish off the kill as Twisty Juker chases Papa Chow through the jungle. I don't know if he really wants this fight, though. Papa Chow's doing quite well. Very good flash. Twisty Juker living up to his name there. And Papa Chow's going to just walk away. Still actually trade going in his favor because he did burn Graves' flash.
Yeah, that was a great call by Twisty Juker. Really great, what do you call it? Clairvoyance. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it is clairvoyance.
Yeah, I mean, the literal definition of the word rather than the summoner spell.
Exactly. So, just a great call by him, but like you did say, with his flash being down right now, it's going to be really easy for the rest of Red Team to lock him down, and they have quite a bit of it. They have Wildturtle with his ultimate, then they have Lustboy with that Dark Binding. If anything lands down onto him, he's just going to be blown up so quickly with the amount of single target damage that Red Team has at their disposal.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we see the big numbers up at the top of the screen. It's 10-3 in kills, it's 1-0 in turrets, but some of the smaller numbers matter a lot here too. I mean, that is a 126 to 42 CS difference between RF Legendary and Brandon up in the top lane. That is one of the largest CS differences I've seen at this level of play, pretty much in all of my experience casting. It's fairly insane.
Yeah, RF Legendary is just taking advantage over and over again. We do see Wolf getting ganked by 3 members.
Yeah, just has to burn his flash to get on out of there. Trading the flash for Lustboy's ulti, and here's DeBox. The spell shield is not up. Lustboy might be going down. No, the auto attack does not do enough damage. Vigar not exactly known for his physical damage, and he was out of mana, so he couldn't use Primordial Burst.
Yeah, meanwhile in that top lane, Brandon for the win is getting taken pretty low. RF Legendary, he has yet to go back, and he's sitting on 3,000 gold. Imagine when he does finish up that Triforce.
Ooh, Emperor's Divide is going to be knocking DeBox back under the tower. And I mean, they're just not even caring about the fact that there's an enemy tower right there. They are going to go for the kills anyways. They see Champion, they fight Champion, and it's working out for them so far. They have 4 times the amount of kills and 2-0 turret lead right now, looking to maybe make it even 3-0 as Imp and Lustboy go after the mid lane turret.
They're just bringing China to NA at the moment, not even guarding the tower. It looks as though RF Legendary going to be taking a kill onto Twisty Juker. He knows he's going to die. He's trying to farm it up because, you know...
That is a 15-minute Trinity Force for RF Legendary. That is an incredible amount of power to have on Aurelia this early on. Lustboy not getting stunned up because the spell shield just in time. Pekin Wolf burns his whole cooldown set and doesn't get anything for it.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And he's so far behind. At the 15-minute mark, we do see Imp. He has that Athene's Unholy Grail, and he's working on what looks to be a Merlin Nomicon. It could be actually something else. It actually could be a Nashor's Tooth. That would be something I could see in Azir building.
RF Legendary doing a ton of damage to Magic Way Shorter down here. Every one of the Transcendent Blades, by the way, does proc the Trinity Force. And Flash traded for Flash. RF Legendary is on a rampage.
boxes though. So back to what I was saying about that mid lane. MMM, I do think that an Azir would build a Nashor's Tooth. I'm not completely sure. I haven't seen too much Azir, especially when I was watching OGN Champion Spring. Faker had his Azir banned against him, so I didn't really get to see that all too much. I haven't really seen Azir. I wouldn't really know exactly what he built. I'm being really redundant right now.
He builds into a lot of magic penetration. His base values are actually pretty strong. But the thing is, he scales so well with attack speed and cooldown reduction as well, or cooldown reduction mainly. He doesn't actually build the attack speed. Because of his passive, he builds into the cooldown reduction and just gets the attack speed for free. So, building into an Athene's Unholy Grail, which has some cooldown reduction, 20% on it, as well as building perhaps into the Morellonomicon even alongside that, would give him a ton of effectiveness for the cost. But RF Legendary is coming to the bottom lane here, and he is spreading the wealth for his team. Lustboy going to be landing the stun. One more blade. He doesn't have it, though. Legendary has run out of Transcendent Blades, and so Shorter's going to be able to just about escape with his life. Meanwhile, up in top lane, though, Debox is getting engaged on by Imp, and I apologize. I want to let you talk, but there's so much action going on all the time. As the play-by-play guy, I just have to commentate this. Debox might be losing his double buffs here. Imp is relentless in this chase. Wildturtle brings him down.
Yeah, the Emperor's Divide almost hit, and that definitely would have secured the kill. They had to pop the Wildturtle flash just to get the kill onto Wildturtle. MMM, if he had gotten the kill, that would have been good as well, but given the kill over to Wildturtle, who's definitely a lot stronger right now, 5-1 and 2, it's going to help out his team, especially when you consider the fact that Azir is already going to be such a powerhouse late game.
Oh, Imp might be in some trouble, though. The barrier's popped. He's trying to keep himself alive through this one, but I don't think he has much hope of that. Magic Way, getting the shutdown gold. Not exactly where they wanted it, but at least it's a kill.
And they definitely need all the gold that they can get. Dragon, it's actually one over onto the red team. It should be up in about 2 minutes, so hopefully blue team, they could be able to sneak it out, but the vision coverage that red team has around that general area is just going to completely nullify any effect. They need to just get control of their own jungle. If they can't even do that,
Debox has absolutely no way out of this one. A spell-shielded Jarvan is a horrible, horrible, terrifying thing for a Vigar. The Transcendent Blades is popped by Legendary, but he's forced to back away as the rest of Debox's team shows up. The hook flies out, but he dashed to a mate.
You have Lustboy on that sideline. Oh, he'll just be thrown out of Dark Finding. It's going to be met with Shorter, but nothing else is going to be following up after that. We do see Wildturtle and Lustboy, though. They're on the sideline.
Speaking of vision control, there are so many red wards in that jungle. It's lit up like a damn Christmas tree right now. Wildturtle doing his best to harass around Brandon, and to be fair, while Brandon had a pretty awful laning phase, I think that's pretty much the only word that we have for it, he's managed to become somewhat tanky, so he is going to be at least useful to his team as a frontliner right now, up until the point where Wildturtle is just going to stop caring about tankiness after he builds some armor penetration.
Something I really want to mention right now is, since the fight does look as though it's about to be broken out, Graves, and now we'll get back to that because...
Yeah, Imp is just gone. He stepped in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Debox has burst. He's finished off his Deathfire Grasp. So while he didn't have the best early clear, seeing as he's jungle Vigar, he did pretty decently enough to get a... Oh, well, RF Legendary got a kill. That's honestly not very surprising at this point. He could 1v1 anyone on the enemy team.
They could possibly 2v1 if he really felt like it.
Pekin Wolf going to the back lines there. Wildturtle getting stunned up. The Papa Chow is actually fairly low, but Wildturtle has the damage to bring down the Lysandra. Now Debox doesn't have the burst that he really wants for this fight. His ult and his Deathfire are both down, so he's not going to be all that effective. Brandon finishes off the kill onto Morgana, and in the end, it's a 1-for-1 trade so far, but we might see a bit more action. Knockup not quite connecting. RF Legendary off to the side, though. Looking to maybe get some. Oh, he is dominating onto Debox. Brandon for the win. He's tanky. He's probably going to go down eventually, though. He does flash away. Wildturtle going to keep on chasing with a spear toss, but doesn't quite gain the ground he needs. And Brandon, this is a very dangerous place for you to be. The minion damage is enough to get the kill for Jarvan. And RF Legendary is living up to his namesake. He is a legendary at this point.
Wildturtle and Papa Chow so close to dying, but the damage that their team actually has is keeping them alive. And Graves, at the 20-minute mark, he still hasn't finished up that Infinity Edge, and he really needs that power spike if he wants to help his team. If we look, Wildturtle, he already has an Infinity Edge, and he's finished up his static shift as well. He's so much more powerful than Twisty Juker on that Graves that he's been able to provide a much more impact in these fights. Twisty Juker, on the other hand, he's just been forced to sit on the backside and throw out auto attacks whenever he's the safest. Whenever he's safe. If he goes in, he'll just be focused down by RF Legendary. We could see even with a tower to assist him, he gets absolutely destroyed. RF Legendary only gets taken down to about a half health.
And speaking of builds, interesting choice for RF Legendary to go with here. He's got the Tenacity attack speed item in the form of that Zephyr. Twisty Juker is absolutely outclassed in the 1v1 with Wildturtle, no question of that at all. But the Tenacity pickup is very interesting because he's gone with the Ninja Tabi boots, but apparently there's enough CC in the other side that he wanted Tenacity anyway, so he decided to go with the Zephyr on top of the boots. And then even on top of that, later on he can go with a, yeah, this stun is not going to last very long because Aurelia's passive gives her extra tenacity when enemies are nearby. Legendary is just impossible to CC at this point, especially if, as I was going to say, he goes with an Iron Elixir. But Debox is getting leapt upon. He does drop the stun, and Imp actually goes incredibly low. Whoa, nearly gets the kill there. But RF Legendary is continuing the aggression in the top lane. Might actually be to his detriment. He has the Ignite burning on him. He's going very, very low, but Aurelia is difficult to finish off, especially with the extra movement speed that the Zephyr gives. This is a very, very powerful item build that is certainly paying off in this sort of split push and be really annoying strategy that he's going for.
I think that's actually a great call by RF Legendary, keeping Brandon in that top side so he can't assist the rest of his team. We do see Papa Chow, though, does get hooked up by Shorter. They won't be able to lock him down long enough. But here's the teleport from Brandon.
Ooh, nice. Double knock-up. The collateral damage comes out as well. There's not all that much damage, but Lust Boy, there's enough to bring him down. Double kill for Brandon. He's coming back into the game here. He's 5-5-0. He used to be 0-5-0.
Yeah, and he's actually picked up that CS lead. So he's starting to look a lot better than before. However, the rest of his team, it seems as though his misfortune has transferred over onto that Graves.
Yeah, you could definitely say that that's the case. 0-7-2, not having the best game of his life, but the blue team still has a few ways back into this game. If they can pick up a dragon, that would be incredibly beneficial, obviously. It's a bit difficult because of the amount of vision control that's over on red. And look at the tenacity for RF Legendary. He's like barely even stopping to consider the fact that he was stunned before he takes a few steps away.
And you know, speaking about that Zephyr pick that we were talking about before, he doesn't really need to go for any sort of defensive stats because he can absolutely destroy people so quickly that he doesn't really need to survive against their damage. You can just see right there. In a 1v1, Big and Wolf couldn't do anything, even with the assistance of Debox with the stun. It was over within a second, and he just continued putting down the hurt, and there was nothing that either of them could do about it. The rest of the red team, while RF Legendary was taking that kill on Lysandra, they take the dragon.
Yeah, and RF Legendary all by himself is just going to go and face off against the whole enemy team. Azir is here for backup at this point, so Cho'Gath gets away with barely any health. Actually, Wildturtle off to the side is going to finish off that kill as Azir dives under the tower onto way Shorter. Double kill for Wildturtle's Kalista as Imp finishes off the kill onto the Blitzcrank. Debox does manage to pick up the kill back onto Wildturtle. He has a lot of burst. He is a Vigor, and the game is going on. He's going to have more and more burst as we wear forwards, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. The first inhibitor of the game already under fire as they dive under both Nexus turrets to bring down Lysandra. Surrender vote going to be called. Blue team going to be giving up the ghost here.
Yeah, there's really nothing at all that the blue team could actually do. They were so far down. They were down 20 kills. And at the 25-minute mark being down that much, and the kills don't really matter all too much, but their entire team comp relied on them actually doing well in the earlier parts of the game. Cho'Gath, like you said before, is kind of a snowball-y top laner. If he can't get ahead, then he's just going to stay down. He did manage to come back in that mid-game with constant team fights happening. They were able to pick up stray kills one after another, but the majority of the kills actually went to him instead of the rest of his team that desperately needed it. If we look at Lysandra, she only has that Morellonomicon and a blasting wand. Graves, he's 0-8-3, and he's just finished up that Infinity Edge about 2 minutes ago. And they desperately needed to get some gold on him for a little bit more consistent damage, especially against RF Legendary, who could not be locked down for a specific moment. that they needed some consistent damage to put out to him, and since they didn't really get that opportunity, they really couldn't do anything to fight the rest of the red team.
Well played by both teams. It's been really fun casting alongside you, Desifresh. Thanks for coming along.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
And I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.